In 2026, the average homeowner in America is paying over $3,000 a month to own a $420,000 house. The average renter in the same city, paying $2,200 for equivalent space and investing the difference. And the renter is winning. I know that's not what your parents told you. I know that's not what every financial influencer in 2015 told you. But the math changed. And if you're still making the biggest financial decision of your life based on advice from 2005, this video might save you six figures. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about the real math behind homeownership versus renting. If you're someone who feels socially pressured to buy a house, but the numbers keep telling you something different, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because today, we're doing the math that nobody runs on Thanksgiving. Before we go further, quick question. Do you actually know what it costs to own a home in your city, including every real expense? Not the mortgage, everything. Most people are off by over $1,000 a month. Keep that in mind. Let me say the thing that will make half the internet furious. In most major cities in 2026, buying a house is not a smart financial investment. It is an emotionally satisfying lifestyle choice. And those are two completely different things. Here's the lie baked into the phrase building equity. It assumes your home is growing in value faster than the true cost of owning it. And in most markets right now, it isn't. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median home price in early 2026 is approximately $420,000. With a 20% down payment, that's $84,000 out of pocket. And a 30-year mortgage at 6.8%, your monthly payment is around $2,200. But here's what the bank doesn't put in the brochure. That's not what owning the house actually costs. Add property taxes, $385 a month. Homeowner's insurance, $150. Maintenance, the one everyone ignores until the roof caves, another $350. You're now at $3,085 a month. And here's the detail that should make you genuinely angry. In the first years of that mortgage, over 80% of your payment goes straight to the bank as interest. Not to your equity, not to your future, to their future. You're not building wealth yet. You're renting money from a bank that charged you $84,000 to start. According to a 2024 Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies report, first-time buyers in 2026 are spending an average of 38% of their gross income on housing costs. The historical safe threshold is 28%. Millions of new homeowners are already financially underwater on day one and calling it success. Here's what most people don't realize about the renting is throwing money away argument. Interest is also throwing money away. Property taxes are throwing money away. Insurance is throwing money away. Maintenance is throwing money away. The only difference is nobody puts those on a bumper sticker. The real comparison isn't rent versus own. It's rent versus the total unrecoverable costs of ownership. And in 2026, in most major markets, those total unrecoverable costs are higher than rent for equivalent space. When was the last time someone who already owns a home told you renting was the smarter choice? The people giving you the most confident advice about buying all have mortgages. All need to believe they made the right call. That's not wisdom. That's confirmation bias, with a deed attached. Now you might be thinking, Dave, but home prices go up. I'm building an asset. Here's the number the real estate industry really doesn't want you running. The average home, after you strip out inflation, has appreciated at somewhere between 0 and 1% per year in real terms. That's not my opinion. That's Nobel Prize-winning economist Robert Shiller after analyzing 130 years of American housing data. 0 to 1%. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 has returned around 7% annually after inflation for decades. The investment your parents swore by has been one of the worst performing asset classes in the modern economy. And most people have no idea because nobody hangs a chart of their home's real returns at Thanksgiving. A 2023 study by economists at Florida Atlantic University found that in 45 out of 50 of the largest metro areas, renting and investing the difference outperforms buying over a 30-year period. 45 out of 50. And yet the conventional wisdom is still obviously buy, because data doesn't come home for the holidays. Opinions do. Think of it this way. Two people, same income, same city. Alex buys, Jordan rents and invests the difference. In 30 years, the housing cheerleaders assume Alex won. But run the actual numbers, accounting for opportunity cost, maintenance, transaction costs, and Jordan often ends up with more liquid, accessible wealth. Not always, but often enough that the obviously buy certainty is completely unearned. This is where it gets really interesting. The people who defend homeownership most aggressively are almost always people who already own homes, which means they have a psychological and financial stake in being right. That's not a conspiracy, that's just human nature. But it means the advice you're getting from family is not neutral. So what do you actually do with this? Because this isn't a never buy a house video. It's a stop making a $400,000 decision based on feelings video. Here's the 3-move playbook. Move 1. Before you do anything, before you even look at a listing, run the New York Times rent versus buy calculator. It's free, it's honest, and it will either confirm you should buy or make you very glad you watched this first. Move 2. If renting wins in your market, take the monthly difference between owning and renting and automate it into investments every single month. Treat it like a mortgage payment to your future self. This is how renters out-retire homeowners. Move 3. Give yourself explicit permission to wait. Not forever, until the math works. The worst financial decision you can make is buying at the wrong time in the wrong market, because your dad called 3 times this week. The people who made the most money in real estate in the last 30 years were not people who bought to live in a house. They were people who treated it as a calculated financial decision, bought strategically in the right market at the right time with the right numbers. That's all I'm asking you to do. Calculate first, sign second. Look, I'm not saying never buy a house. I own a home. But I bought it when the math worked for my specific situation in my specific market at a specific time. Not because my parents expected it or because society told me it was the next step. The smartest financial move you can make right now is to stop outsourcing your financial decisions to cultural scripts written in 1987. The world changed. The math changed. Your strategy should too. Run the numbers. Trust the math. Make the decision that's right for you, not the one that makes Thanksgiving easier. Drop a comment telling me your market and whether the rent versus buy math actually works where you live. I'll see you in the next video.